evening, everybody, and a very warm welcome to One Hub Racing Season 28. We had P4, we had P3, and we had P2, but now we go to the top flight at One Hub Racing. Welcome to the P1 tier as they make their way to the Red Bull Ring for the Austrian Grand Prix. Dry conditions today, and we'll see if anyone is able to challenge the guys up the top. My name is GeForce, I'm your lead commentator as always, and joining me once again is Jamie. Hello, Jamie.
Hello, good evening. Yeah, looking forward to this. Should be a good one. Yeah, on a track which offers really close racing. Obviously, I think like last week's race, it should be an absolute cracker.
Yes, and of course, last time out we went to Spain, and if we look at our standings, as if by magic, the results you see on your screen are the results that basically were the results earlier on. It was Marco that took the victory last time out. It was very close between himself and Alex, but Alex got a really late penalty at the end, which cost him the win. He was the favourite. He had the right strategy. He was on the correct tyre, but unfortunately, just things hindered him a little bit, which demoted him down into P4 position. Kevin, on debut, got himself a P2, which was very impressive, and Callum Unarmed finished in third. But Marco took advantage of the things that happened, and he took the win, and he's starting his championship campaign in style.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, for sure. Obviously, in that race, the penultimate lap, Alex did overtake Marco into turn one. But then at the end of the lap at sector 3, then sweeping corners, he went a little bit wide on entry for one of the corners, and he got a 3-second time penalty, which obviously bumped down the order. And he did cross line first, but obviously, as you see, penalties can play a huge factor in his close grids, and that is what made him lose the race. But yeah, it's a great start for Marco, winning the race, obviously leading the early stage of the championship, but there's plenty of guys behind him snapping at the heels, and yeah, this should be a really good race. And obviously Kevin as well had a great rookie race, getting the podium finish in the pole position. So yeah, Kevin is a guy to look out for as well.
Yeah, Kevin, of course, I think one of our picks for pole position yet again, which shows his consistency, but he's got to work on his pace, I have to say. Key 2, he could have been up there, but his race pace wasn't to be desired, unfortunately. Casper with a very good comeback in P6, of course, and he's on 8 points. That is your order. No results for changing the stewards. There was only penalty removals on the 3-second time penalty. So Senna moved up into 7th. That was the only change. And what that does to the constructors is Williams lead by 1 point over Mercedes. The constructors is going to get very tasty, isn't it?
Yeah, very tasty. Yeah, a lot of really good team marks there, and I can't wait for it to develop. And yeah, seeing obviously the teams working closely together, then should be good. You've got like seeing the McLaren boys look good. You got Williams, you got Mercedes, and a few others as well. And yeah, should be a really good one.
I think we are about to get started. Yes, we are. We are going underway for the qualifying session here at One Hub Racing with about 17 minutes and 35 seconds to go. We've got 16 drivers. Not everyone, unfortunately, could make the racing tonight. I think there was a few things that happened. I think Arnold can't make it due to personal issues. So hopefully his personal issues get sorted out very soon, and he'll be able to go back racing with us next week when we head to Australia. So without further ado, I don't know why the game was not showing. Now it's showing. There we go. We can get underway now. But before we do, who is your pick a pole before we get going for qualifying, as everyone is on their outlaps at the moment?
Yeah, there's no action at the moment. That's a very good question. I think Alex, obviously, he was the quickest guy in the race last week, but I think this week he'll nail the coil lap, and but I also predict the pole. I think the first 4 or 5 on the grid will be set by a 1/10 of a second. Obviously, with like 1 minute 3, 1 minute 2 lap, it's going to be a really competitive grid. So yeah, I expect the pole will be very tight. I think Alex will just pip it. Just by nose.
So Alex for pole, I think I said Lakitu, but I'm going to change my mind and go Kevin, like we saw with Colin earlier on in the pre-race talk show. So let's get started with qualifying, and our first driver to set a lap time is one of the Aston Martins, I believe. Chris, there he is, as he makes his way towards turn number 1. He goes through into 4th gear, makes sure he uses much of the right-hand line as possible, goes in towards turn 3, a very tight line, hugs the right-hand side curb, doesn't use that much apex. He could have gained a bit more time over there, but he's still got more to find as we enter into turn number 4 now. Here he comes then, through into that apex, nicely hugged that right-hand side apex there. That was gaining quite a bit of time as he makes his way through 5 and in towards turn 6 now. Nicely done through the double left-hander. Through again through 6 and 7. Nicely done through there as well. Luckily avoids getting track limit penalties. Chris exits the last few corners of turn 8 and in towards turn 9. Centre sets the first time of the day, but we know he could go quicker. A bit of a slide for Chris as he enters the last corner. He's going to be in the 104s, and it's a 104.2 for Chris. Definitely improvements need to be made from the Aston Martin drivers. Colin, by the way, goes into P2. Very solid from the Kick Sauber driver.
Yeah, nice that berm, yeah. But I think on this first run, obviously, it's very easy to get 4 runs on it. I think the first one, you just want to get a lap on the board, so you've got a reference point. So I don't expect these guys to go full send on the first lap there, but the key to a 13.4 already, he should go quite a bit quicker by the session. Yeah, these guys are just going to get a nice solid banker in. And obviously, mentioning Chris, he struggled for pace a bit last week, but obviously a few drivers on the grid this week and maybe a bit more confident on this track, maybe a track that suits him a bit more than Spain. He'd be looking to maybe get his season up and coming. And obviously Axellock, his teammate, also had a horrific lap 1, and the Aston Martin boys, and they need to up the game a bit because the Spain was not a good round for them.
It was a bit of a shame for Axelot, because when I was practicing around Spain with Axelot, he was looking very quick, and he was one of my picks to get P4 or P5 in that race. But now he is sitting not a decent place in the standings, and I have to say he's got quite a bit of work to do if he wants to climb his way up as he makes his way into the pits now. Everyone, I think, will expect to go quicker as the track rubbers in. Alex, unfortunately, I've just rode and rolled with him. He has unfortunately invalidated. I don't know where he invalidated his lap time, but he must be invalidated through turn 1, which is so easy to do around here. So he's going to go into the pits and try again. But luckily, like you were saying, as it's a short lap, they'll be able to do multiple rounds as Mer on scrub set of the soft tyres goes third fastest. A solid lap from the new debutant.
Yeah, it's a good lap there from on scrub tyres. Yeah, obviously tyre wear as Marco goes second also on a scrub test. So the Williams guys going a bit different there. They did a build lap and then went for a push lap. So yeah, that's good effort from the Williams boys, and yeah, that's good. That is really impressive to see. Alex, not ideal for him, but still plenty of time to get cracking there. But yeah, Nikita once again showing his really strong quality pace there. That's a really good banker lap. But yeah, I do expect to see Paul in the 2s. I do expect the Paul to be in a high 2. That's my prediction.
Yeah, because P1 and P2, it's like P4, the lowest drivers in P4 and P3, right? Like the highest drivers in P1 versus P2, it is a massive gap. So yeah, I agree. We will definitely, I think I'm almost certain, get into the 1 minute 2. So watch this space, ladies and gentlemen, because if we don't, then I will be very surprised. But definitely the high 3s is definitely something to look for. Your championship leader goes into the pits, and once again, everyone else is on flying runs, including our qualifying specialist of Kevin. He's invalidated his last run. We'll see what he could do here as he makes his way towards turn 6 once again. Doesn't use that much of that curb compared to everyone else, which strongly suggests that I think he's finding it a bit difficult compared to most other drivers. As he goes through into turn 7 now, he's not got a lot of battery as he makes his way through the final few corners, but I had the same and I still had no problem at all. So he's managing his battery effectively. Did not have a good run last corner, but he goes up to the line. It's a 103.4, puts him into P2, just about 100 shy of Lakitu there, and it's just like qualifying week all over again, Jamie.
Yeah, it's them 2-1-2, but yeah, there's definitely more time in there because he didn't optimise sector 3 at all. So yeah, there's definitely a 10 for 2 there in sector 3, as you can imagine. As as these guys just trying to add themselves in. But yeah, Kevin happy that to get a decent lap on the board so far. So there's a bit less pressuring for his second run as the two Haas boys yet to get a lap in, and the other is Jacob. Alex is starting a lap here, so we'll see how that does progress later on. As we've got a Red Bull approaching the line, I believe. He's about to start a lap. He's about to...
Yeah, Clark is about to start a lap. Matthew Clark is about to start a lap. Yeah, we'll see who is about to finish a lap. I believe that's one of the Ferraris of Morgan, who, of course, got his first points in the top tier last week. I think everyone in the chat was very happy with that. Caleb Morgan deliver once again. He's a 1:03.8. That is a very good lap time from him so far. He's looking to really improve on that. Next across the line will be one of the Mercedes-powered cars of Senna. That's really good. 2,000 shy of his teammate Kevin. They're definitely going to be working together for sure. As Chris, I don't think, improved. We've got the McLarens just about to finish their run. No, Casper's just about to start a run. Cam Unarmed goes into the pit lane. Jerry Colt, he's got a second attempt. He goes through towards turn 6. His teammate Colin goes into the pits. Alex goes across the line. He goes P2. Look at the top few drivers in the 103s. It could go either way. And you're right that we could see people in the 102s. Lakitu is the one that's the first into the 103.3s. He's loving life right there in P1.
Yeah, definitely. Only about 10th away there. Yeah, definitely. Is good lap there by him as Clark, his teammate, goes third. He's immediately 1 to 6 by Jacob, who gets 5th. Good lap there by Jacob, about 2/10 off pole. Look like you're 2/10 off pole. You're down in 6th and 7th. That's the nature of this track. Really tight and competitive. As Casper's yet to do a proper lap on board, so we'll see what he does now. He's approaching the end of sector 2. What's he going to be? I expect to be considerably up. He's about 2/10 up. So Casper he's surely been qualifying. I have to say, not really got the balance of the McLaren just yet, but there's still time for him to do so.
Yeah, we're going to have to wait and see for Casper. Casper's found a bit of time in the middle sector. He can improve quite a bit. I think, of course, the driver, I think, in P14 improved a lot. Only 11 sector. Yeah, only 12th fastest. And yeah, I'm looking at his last sector. It's not great at all. But whereas his first and second sector is pretty decent for Casper Klein down in P12 at the moment. So that is your order. Curry hasn't set a lap yet. Makes his way through in towards turn 4. Through turn 5, which is a little kink, and he uses quite a bit of that curb actually, but Curry really struggled last time out here in Spain. He's got a lot of work to do again once more in that house. Of course, Haas potentially could be doing well in real life, so I wonder if they're going to do the same here. As don't forget, with the pit lane, we are advised that the drivers take the normal racing line to go to the pit. The invalidated last corner, that's him done. So he's the only driver yet to set a lap time on the board.
Yeah, it was a 109. Is a 0.9 there for him, which put him 15th on the grid. Obviously, Curry and Chris were the back row in Spain, but at least this week it'll be the 8th row, not 10th row.
Yeah, exactly. It's just one small mistake could mean everything this week, and everyone now is going to be going on multiple runs. And I found it when I was qualifying that it's just, I did one lap, I was happy with it, and I struggled to get a really good lap for the rest of it, and I wasn't in my PB at all. I wonder if other people were struggling for that as well. And it's down to the pressure of qualifying. Some people get nervous in qualifying and it just hinders them in the qualifying session. And this is a track, luckily, that qualifying is not as important, but still you want to get a good qualifying to avoid the carnage later on as well. As Marco goes into the pits, he's not happy with that one. Callum Unarmed is just about to start his next run as he makes his way through turn 3 now, Jamie.
Yeah, Colin's also about to finish up there. He's matched his percent. Yeah, as I mentioned, my qualifier, I did a quite slow first lap to get lap on board. And the second lap was a really good lap. And the last 2 laps, I tried to push it to make sure, but I didn't go. The house gave up last set to Colin's cross line. Now, what can he do? Can he improve? He struggled a bit last week. He's up to 11th with he improved by a 10th and he moved to 11th place there. So what can the fellow Welshman Callum do? Obviously, my pick for the champion this year, but he had a solid start of the season, but he want to be qualifying a bit higher than 8th.
Yeah, 8 is definitely not what he wants, is Callum Unarmed, and Colin R. Mason definitely wants something higher. Colin is not a big fan of Austria, but he's determined to give it his all, and he would have wanted rain, quite a few other drivers wanted to, but we're not going to get rain, unfortunately. As Callum goes second, 103.372. This is very tight at the top. Lakitu is about to start his run then at the moment in the Red Bull. I almost forgot what they were. And in the other Red Bull, we do have Clark just about to start his fight. Yeah, he's one right turn one. Unfortunately, he has invalidated. As Senna has slowing right down. He's going into turn three. Where's Kevin? 103.130. What a lap there. I was very good. I wasn't on board there, but we could see the twos from Kevin. And that, honestly, that was hooked up that lap. And he could be the favourite. Could anyone beat that? We'll have to wait and see. I think one person that could beat it is his teammate, but he's a few hundredths down.
Yeah, Senna just finished the line there. He just did a lap early there. Kevin, I looked at his sector times and he gained a 10th in Sector 1 and Sector 3. It was sort of even with Lakitu in Sector 2 here. So I think Kevin maybe running a little bit less wing, maybe feels a bit more confident he can carry that speed through the corner. And as proven by that lap, he definitely has there. That's a really good lap there, as we've got a lot of guys now on their penultimate runs. So we've got Animo in 7th place. Obviously had a really good debut race last week in the points, and he's on a good lap here. Can he improve further? Can he get into the 1 minute freeze? After he can cross line now, what can he do? It's a 4 and it moves up to 6, so he moves up, he bumps up a place there. He's in that tightly congested pack behind Kevin, who's on pole by over 2 temps, which is an absolute mile around this track.
This is so tight. You could cut the atmosphere with a knife. Only one small mistake will put you in P9, just like J. Cole was. It's absolutely incredible. Curry, he's still yet to set a lap time yet, and he's going to be out of sync compared to everybody else. He's got to nail this one, because otherwise he's going to be in a bit of trouble. And as I said that was a bit of a commentator's curse there from me. But Curry, unfortunately, he's going to have to abort this one if I was him. He's got one shot pretty much to get a lap in, because otherwise it's game over. But everyone else is making their way into the pit lane to do their final runs in the qualifying session. And I'm absolutely gutted for Curry, because he was struggling a little bit more. But you never know. Anything could happen. And we spoke to a few more drivers. Senna found that Austria is not a favourite, but he's always found it fun and exciting, and the gaps will be super close. So it's just proving it tonight that anyone could get Cole, anyone could win the race and make it exciting. And you've got to manage that ERS battery and have a good race IQ, Senna says. So Senna, quite looking forward to this one because of the DRS trade, it seems. But final laps then for all of our drivers. Marco won't be able to make it, so that's his qualifying lap done. But for everybody else, it's time for people to get out of the pit as quick as they can to get in the best lap possible. Let us know your predictions in the chat on who you think is going to get pole. And Gaz was saying in the chat, Jamie, that 103.3 is crazy. Yes, it is crazy.
Yeah. I was happy getting a 1 minute 4. So yeah, it shows you the different level of drivers in this tier. So yeah, the Williams boys are really a bit out of sync here. One of them may make it, but Marco won't, because he's going to be stuck in the pack. So if I was Williams boys, I'd be racing to get back to the pits, because he may get a final in it. But no, they seem quite confident. Kevin do what to do, and I believe the first guy to start flying lap, I believe, will be Matthew Clark in the Red Bull. So he's going to be the last guy. He's going a bit earlier than everybody else. It means he won't get the best track conditions, but it means he's going to be pretty much guaranteed a clear track. So this could work for him, as he's actually warmed his tyres up. So Clark's going for a build-up lap. So he's not going for a flying lap, he's going for a build-up lap. So we'll switch away from
we saw that with Mertz. We saw that with Mertz earlier on in the session, and that helped him improve his time by quite a bit. So anything could happen. I did try it when I bought it one of my runs, and that just didn't work. But for Mertz and Clark, this could work.
Yeah, Morgan, I believe, will be the first guy to start off. Obviously, you come out with a lot of fuel around there, so he's trying to burn a bit of fuel as well. And if you don't use it too much, it can work. But Morgan, our P2 champion, 8th on the grid there. Good effort for him, for our P2 tier champion. Can he get into top 6 with this lap here? He'd be the first guy to cross the line, so we'll see what he can do.
He's improving, I think, race after race, I think, for Morgan. Of course, he is finding it difficult in P1, but he's been saying in the chat that he likes the atmosphere, he likes the challenge, and yes, he'll be near the bottom to start with, but he's learning and he loves the league and he loves how brilliant it's run, which is what you want to see. I was talking about it with Colin in the pre-race show, which we done at 11 a.m. this morning. Morgan is one of those drivers that sets an example. It doesn't matter what tier you're in. you learn the best if you're with fast drivers, because you can learn their lines and learn about their battery usage and their line and their pretty much everything, their racecraft, and learn what they could do. And Morgan is definitely in the right place for that, and he will improve as a driver doing that. And don't forget, he started league racing on F125, and he's already doing a great job getting into top tier on in the game cycle. He goes up to the line, 5th place for Morgan. That is very impressive, Jamie. I am very happy with that.
Very impressive. That is really good to see for him there. Great progress. Yeah, I'm very happy for that. Good luck for him there.
We've got one of the Aston Martins.
Yep.
Chris is invalidated.
It's Chris. Yeah, so Chris has done. So the best he can do is 15th on the grid. So shame for him, but there's still a race to go.
Yeah, still some. Alex is about to finish the lap, I think. Final corner. Oh, that was so close to an invalidation, but I think he got away with it. 103.1, which puts him into P2. So quite a few people are challenging the likes of Kevin at the top. We got one of the Red Bulls. I think that's Clark, invalidated. So he's going to go out for one final run. He would have been in 104.2. Which wouldn't have done anything. So yeah, he's backed off for this run, unfortunately. Colin Armasa goes into the pits. What can his teammate J. Cole do as he goes to the line at 103.6? He does not improve either, so he is going to he's going to probably try again, I think, because he's going at a reasonable speed right now. But we'll see what everyone else can do. Callum doesn't improve, but his teammate Casper Klein is down in 14th. I think this could be a tidy lap. I don't think it's going to be enough for top 10. No, but it's not. P12, Jamie.
Yeah, I was on board with Callum for the final corner. He caught a Williams, I believe, on an outlap in the final sector. That probably cost him a tenth or two turbulent air there. So yeah, it's a shame for Callum. I don't think he'll threat the top two anyway.
Oh, so close to a 1:02, but not quite enough. I'll see what his teammate could do in P8. He could not improve either. That's a lot. 11th. The key two is about a 10th up in at the middle sector, which will put him, I think, in P3 right now, just ahead of Callum Unarmed. But as long as he has a good final set, that was a bit of a slide there, so I think he lost a bit of time. But you never know with Lakitu up to the line. He does go P3. He lost more time than I thought he was going to be in that final set. So, of course, Alex invalidated, but I would have loved to have seen what that would have been. He backed out anyway. Jaco on for his final run. Nope, he does not improve. So it is Kevin who's on pole for today's Grand Prix. We'll see if Callum he's at 1:15. So yeah, Kevin is on pole. Yeah, Kevin is on pole for today's Austrian Grand Prix. And to be honest, I am not really that surprised. I'm gutted nobody went into the twos, but Kevin almost got into the twos, and he'll be happy with that.
Yeah, we're very close there, That was really good to see. And Kevin did that on 3 runs. He'd won one less than anybody else. And actually, that's quite impressive there for him. And obviously, got a second separating the grid. Curry did get a lap in the end there. He got into the 0.9s, but he's 15th on the grid. Yeah, but good to see Curry get a lap on the board in the end there. I think it was sugar early on there. But Kevin, it is back-to-back poles for him, and he is looking the man in qualifying so far this season, as we've got Kevin on pole, we've got Alex in second place, Lakitu in third, Callum fourth, Marco in fifth, Morgan in sixth, Animal in 7th, Senna in 8th, J. Cole 9th, Mertz in 10th, Axellock in 11th, Casper 12th, Clark in 13th, Colin R. Mason in 14th, Curry in 15th, and Chris in 16th. And like, if you have second off, you are 12th on the grid. That is mental.
Yes. I mean, I'm still amazed. Do people have lives? Only joking. I mean, people work absolutely hard in this tier to get the laps that they do, and they could be in the high esports tiers if they wanted to as well. But they've chosen one hub, and we really do appreciate that. But whilst we wait, of course, the drivers will be doing a lobby reset as they retire from the session in the dummy race, and then we will set the grid. I do believe, I'm just trying to see if we've got grid penalties for P1. I don't think we do. I think it was mainly the lower tiers of P4 and P2 that got grid penalties for this week. I don't think P1 had any grid penalties, so we're just going to leave it as it is. But whenever we have grid penalties, that's how it's going to be applied, especially with engine and gearbox, where we could see, I think, some drivers taking their engine and gearbox penalties next week, which will be very exciting. But we've had some people come into the rivalries this week in P1. This time it was Senna and Mertzi. Now, Senna and Mertzi, they were involved in an incident. It was deemed no further action, and it seemed like they had quite a bit of respect after that. Anyway, once they found out the results, they were asked, after your guys' incident in round 1, are you expecting more fireworks between you guys going forward, or are you putting it down to opening night rust? And I'm just trying to see if they responded. Senna did. Senna said, fireworks maybe yes, but hopefully not in the way it happened in Barcelona. We're close in pace and we had a good battle. The incident was, as you said, probably just some opening round rust. Excited to keep racing and see who comes out on top. So Senna still has some respect for Mertzi early doors. Mertzi didn't respond, unfortunately, but I'm sure Mertzi would say the same thing. And you're mute, Jamie.
Yeah. Sorry, I put myself on mute there. Yeah, that is definitely for sure, and it's good to see a bit of rivalry in this. It's always like a bit of needling racing. It makes it far more exciting, in my view, and that's what I love about these rivalry sections. They just give you that bit of, feistiness, and you can stab one in the driver if you want, or you can be a bit respectful to them. It's always interesting to see what approach the drivers take.
I was looking at the other rivalries this week and looking at the other stewards' reports. I think out of the tiers that were reported, I think P1 was, the one that had provided the least drama, because of course no one got penalised.
Yeah.
It was just no further action, penalty removals, and the other drive that was Senna, who reported Mertzi, understood the reason why Mertzi didn't get a penalty for that, and Senna realised what he could have done better. So respectful for the P1 drivers, and I can't wait to see what they do, especially the new guys. We will touch the drivers' press conference in just a minute. Colin R. Mason was called into the drivers' press conference, and he was asked, how are you feeling about your chance this season? And he's got two new teammates as well of J. Cole. Do you feel you two can achieve your targets this season and work as a effective team? And of course, he says, please have J. Cole as a teammate after round 1. The targets definitely have to change. Hopefully my pace is better in the next few races. So yeah, struggling a bit in the first round, but maybe he could find his footing in round 2, of course. He struggled a bit in practice today, but hopefully he found a setup that worked for him during the practice sessions earlier on, and he's found his footing again.
Yeah, I was speaking with him a bit, obviously, earlier on, and I think Spain, he struggled around there. He just struggled for pace, struggled for competitiveness, and I think he's been tweaking his setup a bit overnight, and I think he's maybe found something here. Obviously, he did qualify in 14th, but he wasn't that far away from guys ahead of him, and he gave a nice battle these guys, and we just want to get some solid points. Obviously, last week he came close to scoring a point, didn't quite match it, but I think this week he can just get maybe some solid points, just get his season going, obviously on a track which I think he prefers more. I don't think he was the biggest fan of the Catalonia track or this track, but I think with likes of Silverstone coming up, I think that'll be tracks where he'll thrive a bit more.
Yeah, and speaking of the calendar, the drivers were asked about what their favourite tracks on the calendar are, and you can see the calendar on your screen currently as we have got Spielberg at the moment. We went to Spain last week. We've got Melbourne and Silverstone coming up, and I'm seeing quite a few drivers in the pre-race interviews are looking forward to Silverstone. It is a favourite track of mine. It's a favourite track for everybody, but I am just trying to see if anyone has picked Austria as their favourite track. Morgan hasn't. Quite a few drivers picked Suzuka, which I have to say, an old classic track. I love it. Roadbike picked Australia, but he's not here. I'm just trying to see who else actually. Not many people picked Austria, which I'm quite surprised with actually, because it is a fun track. But there's one driver that's looking forward to Melbourne next week, and that is Colin. That is his track. So I am going to note down these pre-race interviews on what drivers have picked, and we'll see what they've done. Senna has picked Hungary as their favourite track. So as Atswat gone for Jeddah. Why did you do that? Someone did say... Oh, no, I thought someone said Austria, but someone said Australia. Never mind. And that's it at the moment, actually. No Austria. So I think it's just pretty much a even playing field, it seems, for the Austrian Grand Prix. But we'll keep an eye on those pre-race interviews to find out if they exceed their expectations based on their favourite tracks.
Yeah, I'm not surprised not Austria, because I think on this game, Austria, people have got track map, think, oh, this is an easy track, but there's not many corners. But all the corners, they've got certain challenges in them, and some are off camber, some there's like mix of high speed, mix of slow speed. It's a real setup compromise. You have to really decide what setup to win. You maybe have to win a bit lower wings than you want because you have to have a straight line speed. But in sector 2, it can absolutely kill you. So I think, and also, it's a bit of a low-key tyre killer. So I think on other games, the track's a lot more enjoyable. In this game, it's more of a test of endurance and enjoyment. And obviously, it's very easy to get them pesky 3-second penalties around here.
As you found out early on, I believe, Jamie, and quite a few drivers. I think that's what costed Mike a podium early on as well. And once again, he missed out on a podium because he got a 3-second time penalty. Absolutely gutted for Mike, but he's due for a podium at some point. I was gutted he didn't get the win today, but he could get the win next week in Australia because that's his favourite track. But that's P3, not P1. But now we had our predictions for pole. I wonder if my prediction has changed into pre-race talk show, but whilst I think about that, Jamie, who's your pick a winner and top 3 for the Austrian Grand Prix?
Good question. I think for the win, I'm gonna go. I think Kevin will hold on this time. I think Kevin maybe he's learnt lessons from Spain. I think he'll hold on. Obviously, around here, track position is so important because of DRS, and if you can manage your battery well, get the cars right, it's so difficult to take round here. So I think Kevin will win. I'm going to go Alex for a second place and Marco for P3.
I said Lakita was going to win earlier, or was it Paul? I can't remember, but unfortunately missed out on that one. But I'm still going to go with Alex to take the win because this is a track. For those of you that don't know and haven't watched the last few tiers this evening for One Hub Racing, tyre wear around Austria, as me and Jamie found out in practice and during the races, were awful. If you do not choose a harder tyre allocation, your tyres are going to absolutely die. So they're going to be definitely going on the hard tyres and they will be punctured if they're not careful. And Alex is a tyre whisperer. He managed to go on a perfect strategy, but with that penalty, that cost him a position to win. But I think Alex, if he can keep up his smooth driving, he could definitely do this. So I think it's going to be Alex, Kevin, and I'm going to go with Marco P3, and I'm going to go with Casper P4. I know I asked top 3, but I'm going to say top 4 for the sake of it. But we've just been given the call by our tier coordinator, Colin R. Mason, to ready up. So very shortly, we are about to get underway for 36 laps around Austria. But what do you think about tyre wear around this track?
Yeah, it's very difficult. Obviously, well, for me, I don't know if for me it's the front tyres, but for other guys, it's been the rears. So it all depends on what setup you use, and yeah, it just means you just get so much understeer for us, and because you're winning lower wings than you want to anyway for the race competitiveness. You get the understeer anyway, and it just builds and builds through a stint. It's so easy just to, and the last 2 corners. Sometimes for me, at the end of the stints, I was just hanging on to it. I was amazing in spinning that race because it was just so easy, especially if you touch a curb. So I think around here, you want to do an undercut, but you got to be careful. If you undercut a bit too much, then you may find yourself a bit exposed at the end. As I saw a few guys, especially in the P3 tier, they pitted really early, but at the end of the race, the tyres were just gone for complete dust. So you got to really get the pit stop. And a lap 1 safety car there, nobody wants it around there because that's going to make tyre management even more difficult.
And I think I was watching
the safety car.
I was watching the P2 tier and there was one safety car before the red flag caused chaos. But the safety car that came out, it was a really bad timing for everybody because I didn't think that the hard tyres would get to the end of the Grand Prix, but luckily the red flag saved them there. And don't worry, they weren't on 26 lap hole tyres. It was just a game glitching, unfortunately. But yeah, and an early safety car, which is not within their pit windows, is not going to help them whatsoever. I think we see drivers in, I think P2 tier pitted quite early and weren't able to make the tyres last. In P3, I think there was a few drivers that pitted a lap or 2 early, and they were struggling at the end, in particular in the midfield as well. There were certain drivers that were struggling with dirty air there. So that is going to be interesting. Of course, with adaptive weather system at One Hub Racing, the gods have spoken, and we got a dry race, overcast of course, so nothing too strenuous, but we have seen in F1 games before, overcast could turn into light rain with the weather set to approximate. We haven't seen it in the other 3 tiers tonight. We could see it tonight with the clouds coming, but you never know around this track. But as the drivers choose their setups, I'm almost certain that majority of the people are going to start on the mediums. But we have seen people in P2 and P3 start on the hard compounder types, and we saw the P3 race winner start on the hards and make it work. So it depends on your pace, but you can make the mediums and the hards work, no matter what you choose. But do not start on the soft, no matter what you do.
No, my teammate in P4 started with a hard tie. He made it work. He got a podium finish. So yeah, it could work. But you say you might sort of be exposed to start the race, and just be careful to turn 3, boys. Just don't do what I didn't turn 3 at the start. So just be careful.
Just don't. Sure it's so easy to do though, Jamie. It is so easy to do. Like if you're following another car, like you're always tempted to like brake like you normally would, and you just brake too late. And I've done it many times around Austria races. I think there was plenty of times where I get quite bad luck in that regard. So there we go. So it is quite normal, and I'm just going to see if we get in the call to ready up. Yep, we have been given the... Oh, no, that was 3 minutes ago to actually get in the lobby. Okay, never mind. So I am waiting for Colin's call to ready up. I'm just trying to see if we can see the tyre blankets, but we can't, which is a bit annoying. So we can't have a sneak peek as to what tyres people are going to go on for. I'm seeing the last race winners in here. Oh, we are about to get underway as we go for, the 5 red lights, and we are underway. Kevin gets a good start from Alex, but Alex goes around the outside in towards T1. Is he going to make it work? No, he does not. A few side-by-side action already with Lakitu and Callum on arms, and we're seeing Clark is trying to make his way forward. But look at this, Alex going in towards turn 3 around the outside. He's got to make it work early, which he does, it looks like. Alex takes the lead, but will Kevin able to stick this and try and not make the move stick for Alex? And the answer to that is, well, we're going to have to find out in a few seconds. Round the outside going, Alex still going side by side, the pair of them right now. This is sensational stuff from both of them as Kevin keeps the lead on lap 1. Nicely done, as we're seeing Senna and Colin. They've not had the best of starts, unfortunately, but they're still in that DRS train. But what a start from Kevin and Alex there. Lakitu up to 3rd as well.
Yeah, fantastic battle side there through the whole of the first 2 sets there. Great to see there. Kevin does hang on just, but I think Alex looked at the move done there, but Kevin managed to hang on. Look, he's starting to pull away now. Kevin, he's starting to maybe try and pull a gap, but it's going to be difficult. DRS is active already, so this is now going to be DRS train in play. We've got Senna and Axlock fighting over 13th place. Senna having a poor start there down. He was down 7th place. We're meant to hear them back now. As in, on terms of tyres, we have got on the hard tyres, J. Cole, Casper and Chris. Everybody else is on the mediums.
Yep, those are your tyres then. So, yep, as expected, 3 drivers have gone for the hard tyres. Everyone else on the mediums, no one on the softs. Luckily, everyone listened. As Epic side by side with Morgan, and I think Morgan is going to lose P6 there. So Epic goes around the outside. There's a bit of contact being made between Morgan and Jaco, as Jaco has dropped his way through into 15th, unfortunately. So both the Kick Albers not having the best of times at the moment, but Morgan, I think Jaco's dropped down to 16th. Yep, he's not having a good race at all.
No, yeah, I think he's got away with damage though. I think he's all right damage there, but he's lost a lot of time there. He was fighting over 7th place, now down to 16th, down 9 places. Costly moment there for him, but he's still in DRS, so it could have been worse. He's still in the pack, but he's at the back of it, and making progress is going to be an absolute nightmare for him.
Yep, it is. And we're already in the 106s already on lap 3. That's how competitive P1 is, ladies and gentlemen. And we are starting to see BRS batteries being burnt. If the lights are not flashing, that's when they're deploying and using the overtake button. I'm not liking the overtake mode on the F126 regulations, I have to say, but Kevin is burning, so is Alex then. We will see, can Alex take the lead round the outside in towards turn number 4? It's going to be a tight ask if he could do it, but this is a really lovely battle between these two. We saw this last week in Spain, and we're seeing an absolute replica here today, but this time it's Alex that gets the edge. Alex is through on Kevin, and he takes the lead. He's got to make sure, though, that he keeps it penalty-free, because that's what let him down last time.
Yeah, and yeah, that's got through there. You've got to make sure it's mainly the last 2 corners where you tend to get into turn 1. So you get through this section all right, then you they should be fine. This is the section which is definitely where the penalties happen, as Alex, another 106 lap there. So yeah, these guys are really racking in the laps. Obviously that is quicker than my race lap in total.
Yeah, I did a six. I did a 6.9. I think lap 22, 3. I think it was on my second set of hards. Yeah. It just shows that they are the best of the best at One Hub Racing, and we're very lucky to have them here in our company, and we get to witness it every week. It's always great, and they cheered me up last week after me having a rubbish race, as Curry, side by side with Colin R. Mason. Colin is struggling with his race pace at the moment, but Curry is able to attack on the inside. Oh, but look at that, Colin with the send there, but he didn't make it stick, unfortunately. Curry sends it back through.
As well.
A bit of wheel banging, but no damage, I don't think. Curry is through up into 14th place. Unfortunately, Matt Clark is out of DRS range. Well, no, he's not. He is in DRS range, but he was out of DRS range. He's going to lose time. Yep. Casper and Chris. Well, Casper's going to gain some DRS on Chris, so we'll see what he could do there. Chris struggling a little bit there. As Senna through on Mert, as Mert is pitting early.
Yeah, he pits up.
Yeah, we saw in the earlier tiers, them pitting at this stage is not going to work. As Mert right the right decision, we'll see if he's got damage, as they have to follow they are being advised to follow the racing line into the pit lane. So has he got damage? Yes, he has. That's why he's pitted early. That's compromised his strategy completely.
Yeah. Well, around here, yeah, if you've got wind damage, you have to pit, because the last sector of the car is an absolute boat, so you have to pit if you've got wind damage. Unfortunately for him, that's probably why he lost the pack, because I noticed the gap did increase there, so probably just tap the rear of the car, I guess, and that maybe gave him the front wing damage. As Lakitu now is closing in on Kevin, as the front 7 are now starting to pull away, so these front 7 they're going to drag each other along. It's going to make the job for Clark even harder, as Senna now is getting a bit detached. So we're starting to see some groups starting to form now, as always in these races. And yeah, this is Clark is going to, as I noticed in my race, if you're not in a pack, then it's so difficult to catch a car's ahead around here, because DRS around here is half second lap. Yeah,
that's why I gained
Curry's lost his wing.
Curry has lost his wing. That's why I gained so much at the start, because I was in a DRS train for most of the stint, whereas some other people weren't. So when I lost DRS, that's when I lost momentum. As Senna comes in, Curry comes in. Has Senna got damage? No, he's pitting early on hard.
Kevin up the inside.
Kevin up the inside. I don't think Senna's made the right decision to pit now. I think he should have waited a few more laps. Lap 8 at the latest, I think he should have pitted. Not now. He's going to struggle on those hard compounded tyres. But Kevin trying to go for the move here in towards turn 4. Doesn't quite do it, unfortunately. But the Keitu's looking very good on pace in the Red Bull. I'm saying that his race pace needs to step it up. But it's like that he's taking my word seriously, which is great to see. And he's doing brilliant on race pace. And as you were saying, he's keeping up with the DRS.
Yeah, he was quite quick last week in the race in Spain. He was on fight for the podium, but yeah, he just died off a bit at the end there. But yeah, it's good to see him in the front field. Obviously, how fast he's qualifying tier driver, and yeah, obviously he does every second season on the game. And great to see him back. Obviously, he's a big fan of his NFL football, so he watches that in the winter. But great to see him back in the spring, and yeah, he's obviously a former champion, so great to see him having a go and at the front again where he should be, as Kevin's ever close to Alex. But I think Kevin is playing a long game here. I don't think he's too desperate to get by. And yeah, speaking of Senna, he's going to get a nice undercut in these guys, but yeah, as you mentioned, end of stint, it's going to be difficult for him. So he's got to really try and nurse these tyres a long way now. So it's good to see though. It's good to see the driver trying something a bit different, see how it works for him.
Yeah, I want to see if it worked. For some drivers it did, some drivers it didn't. It does depend on the pace. If we get a safety car, that could help Senna ever so slightly, but again, that might be too early. I would expect the first of our leading bunch to pit in at the end of next lap, end of lap 8. I think that's what I did in my race, was pit at that time. The reason why was because otherwise I would have been stuck in a traffic jam and it would have been an absolute nightmare. So I had to do the undercut on the leaders just to gain some clear air and see what I could do. So we will see if anyone comes into the pits now. No, they do not. So it will be next lap that some people come in. But no, Kevin has opted early for a lap earlier. But I have to say, P1's tyre wear, Jamie, is a lot better than ours. So we're probably talking bonkers, and probably end of lap 7 is good. But we'll see.
And also, with it being overcast all race, that means less track temperature. That means obviously less tyre temperature. That means either you can be more aggressive tyre You can be more against tyre pressure, and also means you're putting less energy through the tyres. So, for me, this drop maybe make the tyres last a lap longer. For these guys, it may be up to like 2 laps. So yeah, good to see. And now Kevin's pitted. Alex is free of DRS. Yellow flag. That's Chris, I believe.
Yeah, Chris has
He's having a good race as well. He was having a good race. He's right behind his teammate there, but at the moment there, into turn 3. Now it's going to cost him, and now Alex is in the lead, and Lakita's lost DRS. So if I was Lakita, I'd pick this lap now to maybe try and cover off Kevin.
I have to say, Alex is a tyre whisperer at One Hub Racing in the P1 tier. His fronts are at a decent temperature, and he comes in. That's what I'm expecting for some drivers to pit now to get the undercut. Lakita is in, Callum stays out, and he's under pressure from Logan. Epic the Animal, of course, make their way towards turn number 1. Epic the Animal having a very good end of the stint. I think that's where it shines at the moment. Morgan is in this as well. He's on for a very good point to finish if he can keep this up. He's definitely improving race after race, I think, as Callum unarmed has been passed by Marco, who takes the lead. I thought Marco had a puncher there, but it wasn't. It was just me playing silly buggers, unfortunately. But in terms of undercuts, Kevin got the undercut perfectly. He just got past Alex, and he gained quite a bit of time there. So Kevin takes the lead. It's going to be as close as we thought, as Casper and Matthew having a fight in the background for P5 on the road. And as you can see, a little bit of a helicopter shot from him. And Casper on those hard tyres has started to come alive right now. He's got to make it last to about lap 12.
Yeah, now the hard tyres are best now, so you will lead the race from these front 4, do pit, and got to try and make this last go the all-nut strategy, try and just get some clean air. Now if Casper gets a safety car on lap 12, that's going to work an absolute treat for him. But P1 tiers, I'm going to say it now, in P1 tiers the safety cars are very unlikely, as we've got a lot of leaders in the pits, they're all in the pits now, no surprise there, all going to set hard tyres now. So now we've got, because Matthew Clark stayed off another lap, so
and Casper.
Interesting.
Yeah, Casper stayed out because he's on
the hard tyre. But
Clark on the mediums. I think when I was in practice, that's when I was big into pitting. But then when I realised the undercut was so powerful during practice, then that's when I had to think quite tactically. So I think maybe Clark hasn't practiced the strategies too much and probably didn't realise how powerful the undercut really is. But we are watching Alex right on the back of Kevin now. And if I were them, try and save as much battery as you can. But look at the send from Alex, but that unfortunately didn't materialise. Alex was trying to do a dive bomb, but he would have taken Kevin out in the process. So respectful racing from the pair of them in towards turn number 6 now, as their first stop has now been completed. We'll see a fastest lap very, very soon, and you could start to see within the next lap who's going to be the fastest in terms of pace. Is it going to be Kevin or is it going to be Alex? We'll find out as they cross the line in towards turn 9 and 10 now, and we are seeing a few warnings from some of our drivers, Jamie, and if they're not careful they will start picking up their penalties, as their fastest lap does belong to Alex in the Haas. So that's helped with the DRS.
Yeah, definitely. Now he's got a good run here. He's got a lot of batteries, deploying it. He's going to go for it here. Kevin's not much battery left, so should be an easy pass for Alex if he fancy. Yes, he does. Get the move done. As Morgan gets a penalty there, that's going to be critical. That's going to lose him out so much. But Alex on Kevin the outside as well, the traction I've noticed when I was racing, and Kevin does defend it, but Alex on the inside now, is he going to outbrake the Mercedes man? He doesn't need to, he's through already, and Kevin just backs out of it there. No point defending that, as Alex does lock up there, but he just makes the apex the corner, and he is through into 4th place, which is the net lead, as Clark is staying out for another lap. I wonder if Clark has selected the standard tyre option.
The balance, yeah.
Judging by this strategy, I think he has. And he's working, he's doing all right though. He's keeping with Casper, so his pace is not bad considering.
It's not bad at all. I think he's going to come into the pit lane, and my mistake when I was practicing on Friday was to go for the balanced tyre strategy, because I was on the back foot early on, and whereas everyone who went in for the harder strategy, it just worked in their favours. Do never go balanced around Austria. It just doesn't work, as here comes Clark, and let's see where he drops, but he's on the hard tyres. I only hope to God that he has some tyres left, so you can see, I'm just looking at the between Alex and Kevin. Apart from the final sector, Alex is quicker than Kevin. Kevin gained about 2/100ths of a second on Alex in the final sector alone, that's it. But Alex has gained 4/10 a lap on Kevin. and that is very good to see.
Yeah, and also Lakita now starting to come back to play a little bit. He's just outside DRS zone. He's going to try and just drain his back. We try and get back in this. If Lakita can get back into DRS, it's going to absolutely save his race. So crucial sector for Lakita coming here. Can he get within that DRS? I don't think he's going to quite do it. It's going to be tight.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to get within the DRS, unfortunately, but you never know. Anything could happen as we're seeing our final lot of pit stop. J. Cole is coming in a lap earlier than expected from those hard tyres. He's going to have to make those hards go 13, 14 laps, but to be fair, in my race, I made it last 16 laps and it was fine. So I'm sure J. Cole can make it last 16 laps up to the point where the mediums become viable. Oh no, J. Cole's on the mediums. Now, that is interesting. I'm liking the various strategy for J. Cole. This means he knows that the undercut is powerful. Yes, he's going to be able to take it by a lot of drivers, but that means he can pit around the same time as the hard runners go in and opt in potentially for a setup. That I can't remember if he started on the hards or not. I think he did. So unless he has hards left, that could be interesting. That could be a smart tactic from J. Cole as he tries and makes his way through the field.
Yeah, he can, yeah, and Colin just lets him buy down DRS, so good teamwork there by the Salva boys there, yeah. J. Cole's not that far off, like a top 8 result, so yeah, it could work out from here. J. Cole will be rapid the next 3 or 4 laps, but by about 6 or 7 on the stint, that's when it starts to go off. He's got a yellow flag. That is Casper, I believe. Casper has had a spin in the final corner, yet to pit, and he's dropped down to 4th place there. So Casper presumably probably hit a curb and just spun around there. Very difficult to hit the wall there. I don't think he's got any damage either. So he managed to save from the barrier there, but he's had a costly spin there. Now his tyres will be red hot. So that's
unfortunate.
To be cool. Yeah, he should be pitting next lap, I believe. He's still got DRS because obviously he must have been ahead of a car in detection. I wonder if one of the leaders passed him there and he maybe just got caught off guard.
Colin got a penalty, but I think the rears, I think the Casper is starting to struggle a little bit. You could tell with the way he's handling the car. So if I was him, I would come into the pits now. Maybe for another set of the hard tyres, as here comes Marco on Casper, and he has to fight his teammate there, and yeah,
lets him straight through. He
lets him straight through. Fair play, teammates respecting there at the moment, so I think he's going to... What's he going to do at this point? Is he going to do what J. Cole does and get up for the mediums, or... I think it'll be too late for mediums. I think he's going to go for hard compound tyre strategy, and then maybe he'll go for a set of softs and pray for a safety car. That could potentially work for him. So Casper's going to come in and he follows the racing line as we told the drivers to in the briefing, and hopefully people have read the briefing because otherwise we would have talked absolute bonkers. But is it going to be hard compounded tyres for Casper Klein? No, it's not. Medium compounded tyres then. So it's going to be...
Same as J. Cole.
Yeah, same as J. Cole. I think that's a smart move for Casper to climb his way up the order and redeem himself. As Callum, by the way, gets past Marco up to 4th.
Yeah, good move there by Callum as J. Cole's also passed Clark from that. Clark going to fight back here on the inside. Clark looks very late there. Can he get it stopped though? It's just about there. J. Cole's going to get a good exit though. J. Cole will have DRS down this straight and he should easily repass there. Good battle between these two here, and J. Cole is back through on J. Cole. Does similar stint tyres, but obviously J. Cole on the mediums there, through in 8th place. And also on Morgan, I just noticed he pitted again. I checked on the race director. He changed his front wing, so Morgan just pitted. But now he's changed his wings, so that was a potential for maybe a top 8 finish gone for Morgan. But I think he could take promise from the pace point. There. Yeah, past that point, yeah, that's possible. But yeah, I think his pace in the first stint was quite impressive there, so I think that's what his takeaway from tonight will be.
He could take the fastest lap point, and he had pace at the first stint. And I have to say, he's learning and growing in the P1 tier, and I'm sure he's going to learn from other drivers that are more experienced than him in the P1 tier as well. So I think, as a whole, with the tiers showing, as Marco gets past Callum, by the way, up to 4th, we're seeing in P1 and P2 at the moment how tight the tiers are. I think with P1 and P2, I think we got it absolutely spot on most of the time in terms of where the drivers are placed. I think the drivers we got at the moment in like the points paying positions are the ones that deserve to be there in both tiers, which is really great to see. I think, of course, a few drivers we need to look at a little bit, but pretty much every single driver in this tier is doing very well as expected. I think Epic is my driver so far that's performing a lot better than last race. The biggest improver, I will have to say. He is, I've spoken to quite a few drivers who raced with him on this game, and he is a quick person. And he even realised how quick everyone else is, but he is learning from them as well, as Clark makes his way past Senna.
Yeah, but I forget, no, Epic was a late call-up last week. He didn't have much notice, so he didn't have much time to practice. He's had a full week practice this week, so yeah, I'm not surprised he's improved a lot. Obviously, with a bit more preparation time, as last week it was very much last minute for him to join. Obviously, he joined in between the pre-race show and the actual race, so I think his performance last week was impressive. As Alex is fighting Kevin for the lead. He's back in the lead now, but Kevin fight back here. Kevin's not much battery left. No, he doesn't. As Alex now retakes the lead and he makes it stick as these two are starting to pull away a bit now. The key who's sort of in no man's land. As Callum and Marco fighting again over 4th place. These guys seem to swap places every lap at the moment.
Yeah, they are. I'm liking Callum and Marco's fight. I think the battles that we're seeing are between Alex and Kevin, Callum and Marco. We also got Clark and Jaco and Senna. And we also got Casper and Axelot in the background, as Casper is through on Axelot on the fresher mediums. We'll see if he can make his way through. And Casper has got a point now if he finishes where he is, and he's going to try and go for the fastest lap as well as they go through in towards turn 6. The grip's starting to get worse for the drivers who are been on those hards for a bit longer. I think I would say around lap 20 is when we'll see people come into the pit. No, Senna's going higher than that. Senna wants to do 17 or 18 laps on those hard tyres. Nah.
Yeah.
And it's
half the race. So
it's half the race.
Half the race, basically.
To be fair, I pitted lap 20 and my tyres were on 60% after 16 laps. So it is doable, but it's going to be difficult.
Yeah. Callum again, I got running Marco inside turn 4. No, thinks better of it. But he was going for it there. He's fancying the move there, but no, I think better of it. It's Clark and Jaco fighting yet again, the Red Bull and the Sauber man. But yeah, Clark does defend it as Chris and Curry fighting over 13th place, and Chris does get through as there's a few battles on the field as Curry gets a time penalty there. He is in 15th, and Senna's got a bit clean air ahead of him for a lap, and then he'll start getting traffic. That may affect his undercut a bit to get stuck behind likes of Chris Morgan and Curry down at the back of the pack.
Yep, I think they got quite a bit of time to climb their way through. It's Senna, Curry and Morgan. But if you like what you see, by the way, if you're on Twitch, don't forget to give us a follow and also hit the subscribe button. We are on a decent amount of follow count at the moment. Let me just check how many follows we are on. It's not saying on my screen, but we're on a decent follow count anyway on Twitch, so make sure you follow as Callum on Arm passes Marco up into 4th place. And also massive shout out to our sponsors, Delta, Sim Racing Setup, SimGrid, Next Level Racing, Vespertine and Pure SimGrid. We'll go through your sponsors just before the end of the stream. We didn't have time to go through it earlier on, but we will make sure we go through the sponsors towards the end of the stream, and we'll be picking our Sim Racing Setups driver of the day very, very shortly, and it could be one of those drivers. I have a few drivers in mind for this one, and sometimes I like Jamie goes for an outsider. I usually tend to go for some drivers in the front, but it could vary. I might decide to go for a different driver. You never know. But we're about to start lap 20. The leaders still staying out. I wonder if they're going to pit next lap or they're going to stick it out for a few more laps.
Yeah, it just had Chris and Morgan here fighting for 30th place, banging wheels a bit there. Morgan to get through on the turn 3 DRS straight, but Chris not having none of it, really feisty into turn 4 and got the place back. So Morgan trying to make a comeback of it, but Chris is not making his task that easy at all.
Nope, he's not. As Marco through into P4 again. They're switching positions left, right and centre, aren't they? I'm absolutely loving this. If this is a good example of what we should include for Inside the Stewards Room on Friday, I don't know what is. That is a good example. So if I were Callum and Marco, put it in the clips channel, in the P1 clips channel, and use it. And I will pretty much say to Nick, please use it. Yellow flag. That's Morgan. Morgan's had a moment. And he's lost it there. So luckily he's got the car going again and hasn't lost a bit of time. But yeah, people were hoping for a safety car. If a safety car came about now, that would have been good timing for all of our drivers to come in, because Haas will get to the end from here as Kevin is in, Alex stays out. Differing strategies from the Haas and the Mercedes teams. Which strategy is successful? If I were you, maybe the undercut, but it's proven in the lower tiers, just because you get the undercut doesn't mean you're going to keep the position. There may be people on faster tyres than you that may have quicker pace towards the end.
Yeah, we had the alternate strategy, obviously winning P3 tier, and obviously this is about a lap too early than normal, I think. But he's just about to start the pit winner now, so Kevin can get this to the end, and he will be leading the race. Obviously, it's around 20-second pit loss round here, so yeah, it's not a bad call for me. It's Callum and Marco yet again fighting over third place this time, yeah. But yeah, but I think Alex. Will Alex cover him off, or would he go a lap for too long? Or go for an offset, and maybe just think I can just pass him anyway. We'll see what he does now. I suspect he'll pit this lap. I don't think he'll let the Mercedes get too far ahead. No, he's stayed out. So Alex is going for an offset strategy of at least 2 laps. So we're gonna have a guy on a fresh set of tyres chasing down the leader on some older sets. So this is going to be quite exciting final stint of the race. As in Lakitu, he's looking good in third place so far. He's sort of comfortable third place, aided by Callum and Marco battling each other, and they are helping each other in a way, with DRSing each other. But it's not ideal having to break uncompromised lines here. But yeah, these two seem evenly matched for pace. They've been swapping. This is about the 14th time they've passed each other.
This is amazing, isn't it? I mean,
yeah.
I think that's helping everyone else just stay behind as well. But it's going to lose them time to the front. But to be honest, do they care? No. Fight with J. Cole on, it looks like, Clark for P6. J. Cole, I have to say, is having a very good comeback, but don't forget he's still yet to stop again. He's going to try and go through around the outside. I tried doing this earlier, and it's a very difficult corner to go side by side in, but Clark just about defends that. Look who's right there. It's our net race leader of Kevin.
Yeah, Kevin, he'd be a bit nervous because Alex pits now. So, according to my pit loss time, I think Alex will be about 3 seconds behind. As Lakitu gets a time penalty coming to pits, and that's going to make his task for the podium a bit difficult. He's going to have to pull a 3-second gap now. This is Lakitu's problem. He's got a 10-second speeding penalty as well. So Lakitu's podium chances are gone, I'm afraid. What a shame.
Was that a double warning there heading towards the pit lane?
I don't know. He may be able to get that removed in the stewards, obviously.
That's all he did to get another warning. That's all he did.
But he cannot remove the 10-second speeding penalty, though, which he did get, I believe. I did see a 10-second pop up. I'll just have a quick look.
Yeah, I did see a 10-second speeding. That's what I saw. I saw that first, then the 3-second.
Yeah, it was Callum has passed Marco for the temporary lead until these two do pit. Obviously, I believe they both probably will pit this lap, because you don't leave it too late, because you'll never be able to catch up. So I wonder if one of these guys may fancy just staying out. We'll wait and see, though, as Kevin is now, the gap between Alex and Kevin is going to be...
It's about the same.
It's only just over a second. So yeah, so Alex, that's not worked out too badly for Alex, you know. He's got a clear Clark, but once he clears Clark, it won't be too long. So I think he's on the back DRS of Kevin now. So I think Alex, to that fresher tyres, I think Alex has to be the favourite for the win so far.
I think he pitted at the right time. Yeah, he pitted at the right time. He's got the fresher rubber, and we saw that with most of the tiers, that if you have the fresher rubber at the end of the race, you're pretty much going to win this run. I think the tyre offset just makes a massive difference. As our fastest lap, 105.9. That is what quite a few people's quality times are in P4 tier. P1 tier means bidders, and we're seeing Callum, Marco and J. Cole come in. J. Cole, I think, will have to go on to the hards, which he does, whereas Callum and Marco also go for the hards. We'll see where they end up. They're pretty much as they were, and we are going to see the battles going on and on. But look at Logan. Logan's in this fight as well. So it's not just come a one-car fight. It's a 3-car fight now. That undercut from Logan has worked perfectly.
And with Lakita's penalty, this is effectively the fight for P3 in the race. So this is a podium fight here for these guys. And yeah, imagine if, so these guys, a bit more to it now, fighting for a podium. There's a bit more pride to it. And yeah, it's great to see. Obviously, even pitting early, getting that undercut himself into the DRS, which that's amazing, because that just makes your race now. But he's got to be careful. He's got to be careful now with Casper ahead. He doesn't want to get detached. As I believe Callum's actually got by Casper there, and Casper is doing a job for his teammate. Look how much he's holding up these two guys, and he's allowed Callum to pull away.
And And sometimes you got to do that. You are allowed to help your teammate. And yes, it's only round 2, but Casper knows the mission at this point. And I think Callum will definitely be giving Casper some word of thanks after that. And I'll have to say Casper's doing a very good job there holding these guys up right now. And he's going to part the bus, but Marco gets through. Look at Logan. Logan's going to get past Casper too. And that's going to be an easy done. Yeah, that's very crucial there. But all that's done is lost time over Callum Unarmed, which I think has muted to Casper's ears and Callum Unarmed ears as Clark picks himself a 3-second.
Yeah, he was in DRS. Now the gap's almost 2 seconds, and Marco may still be able to catch that, but it's going to be so difficult now. Without DRS, you got to do it on just pure pace, and yeah, that lap there may have just given Callum another podium finish. So yeah, that is that's really good teamwork from the McLaren boys.
Yeah, and don't forget, constructors, as we were saying earlier, quite close between a lot of the tiers at the moment. As we are seeing another warning from Logan. If he picks up another one, he will get a penalty. As Casper gets a second penalty as well. It is so easy to do. But I think his race is over. Unless we get a safety car, his race is almost over, unfortunately for him. And Alex is going to go through on Kevin in towards turn 4. It's a rubbish camera angle game. Thank you very much. I'll go the onboard shot. It'll probably be easier. Kevin just about holds Alex's line into P1, and this is nail-biting stuff at the moment. Kevin's not using much ERS at the moment, whereas Alex's is. Let's look at the battery usage. Kevin hardly has any. Alex has got loads. So I would say advantage Alex at this stage.
Yeah. Obviously, when you're in lead, you have to use battery more because you have to sort of deploy more, overtake down the straight just to stay ahead. And if you're on deer, if you're behind the car, you just run a lower mode and just stay behind the car. It's so much advantageous here. As Alex is buying his time here. I don't think he's too desperate to get by just yet. I think he knows he's probably got the pace. He's got the tyres as well. He knows that the Mercedes, every time he slides coming out of the final corner, he's gonna run out of tyres. But he's gonna go for it round the outside of turn 3. He's gonna outbrake him. So if he'll get a better exit on the outside, I've seen all race. But I think Kevin sells DRS though. Yeah, Kevin does have DRS. Alex is through, but will Kevin send up the inside here? He's got a good run. He's using all his battery left. He's not got much left, running empty almost. And he's got to dive down the inside. Ooh, switch back there, but just a bit too far back, and that's allowed Alex to stay ahead. And now he's going to have to play the waiting game. Now can Alex pull away on them fresher tyres? As these guys are 7 seconds ahead of Lakita and 11 seconds ahead of Callum. These guys are on a different level pace-wise tonight.
I think I'm going to make my predictions right here, right now. If this goes on like this, these are 2 championship contenders. Hands down.
Definitely.
Yeah, left, right and centre. And this is why I predicted Alex for the win today, because he can manage those tyres quite well. And he's got even tyres on the fronts and the rears. Absolutely incredible stuff. And he's hardly got any warnings either. So he's in the advantageous. And look at the battery he's using. He's on 80% at the moment. Kevin is on, it's hard to tell because he's got his telemetry off.
Yeah, he's on none down the straight, no DRS, and Kevin barely even catching. He just shows you how really good he is managing the battery there. He's a real good shot. Kevin's going to have his work cut out here. He's going to have to. I think Kevin's going to have to lunge it if he can stay with him, because Alex seems to have really good straight line speed, and Kevin, he's tried everything to stay with him, but I think eventually he's going to get to a stage where I think Alex will eventually break DRS to Kevin. I think that's where it's going to come to at some point. So Alex one lap will just deploy some of that battery we're saving towards the end, and that may be the end. So Kevin's going to have to be careful. He's going to have to nail every single lap. If he loses DRS, there's no way he's coming back.
I think it looks like Kevin is going to be probably almost a bridesmaid and never the bride, but Kevin wants to win a maiden win. Of course, in the P3 tier, we saw someone take his maiden victory, so we could have 2 maiden victories here this evening with Kevin, of course. I'm trying to think, has Alex picked up a win? I'm not entirely sure. He might have done towards the end of last season, but I will check the database for you to see if he's done so. But it's more than likely we are going to have a maiden winner in the P1 tier, which is always great to see. When I see a maiden winner in any tier, it's just always delightful.
Callum has got a 3-second time penalty, so at the moment,
oh no!
As it stands, Logan is on for a podium finish. As it stands at the moment now, with that gap under 3 seconds, So as Murty and Senna racing, we saw these two racing last week. Up the inside, banging wheels again. These guys love banging wheels. They're going to go side by side, and Murty gets the better exit. But Murty gets a better exit, and Senna is going to go up the inside here. There's a squeezing bit down the straight here. Senna going to break him inside. Going to outbreak himself here, surely. He's going to go through. There's still bang wheels. Senna, he's going to get through. They're still side by side. This is good racing between these two. Senna has got the outside. Murt's got the inside. Who's going to hang on? Oh, they're very close together there, and Mert is through. So these guys are very aggressive each other.
Oh, that was a stupid camera angle. That was a stupid camera angle. I was trying to go on the onboard shot, then it ended up selecting another driver, so I did miss a bit of that. I apologise. But Mert doing it. I have to say, we picked the right rivalries this weekend. They were a bit argy-bargy in Spain. They're doing a lot better today, it looks like, and I have to say, very impressive between the pair of them. I could tell Senna is having a lot of fun here, racing him. You could tell by the way he's racing. Absolute respect shown between these two. We're going to keep an eye on that. We're going to keep an eye on Alex. By the way, Alex has won a race this season, last season. I think he won one race according to the database, so it won't be a maiden win for him, but it will be his first win of the season. As well, you can see, Mert doesn't get a good run there. As we can see, Senna, as he makes his way through, I don't think he's going to have the edge right now. He's saving his battery, I think, Senna. No, he's hardly got any deployment to use. And from experience, if you're stuck behind a car and hardly got any battery left, it's going to be very difficult to close in on the driver in front and to challenge for position. So if I were Senna, you got to get a move on and just hope the car in front just has a bit of a slide, which Mert did just a moment ago. And the gap now is around about 0.5 per second. So that's around about the same gap as we saw Alex and Kevin just now.
Yeah, Kevin's battery, he's saving a bit more battery. He's up to like 50% now, so he's saving more for attack, but it doesn't matter if Alex is still 6 temps T if I back for a move there. As I checked on the SimGrid program for Alex, his win was in Qatar round 8 last season, so he won in Qatar. This is a very different track to Qatar, but he's still showing he's got the versatility in all tracks in this game. Yeah,
I think, of course, Austria's always a classic track. Everyone loves Austria. In any league race, it's always exciting. But I'm not surprised. I'm surprised we haven't seen any safety cars in a P1 tier. Because I thought we would get one by now, but we hardly have any safety cars, as you were saying, in the P1 tier. We didn't get many last year, and it just shows about the respect that the drivers have shown in this tier. Of course, they've had loads of league racing experience in the higher divisions compared to everybody else in One Hub Racing, so they could bring that energy and enthusiasm to One Hub. And of course, we have brilliant driving standards, and of course, only no penalties were awarded in P1 tier as well. 2 tiers were pretty much P1 and P3 were the only tiers that have no drivers having penalties, Kevin, which is great to see. As we could see, Kevin almost going for the move there, Jamie.
Yeah, he used a bit of battery down straight there, but wasn't quite close to go alongside there. A bit of a slide coming out of turn 3, which is not going to help him down turn 4. But yeah, Kevin, I think he knows he has to get his move done now or never, because laps are running out, and Alex, all Alex do is really get his corner exits right, and that is going to make the job very difficult. Kevin is really, I think he feels like he's got to do the next 2 laps, so it's never going to happen, as Jaco and Clark are still battling, as Senna and Mert are still battling. So we've got battles down the field here, but the lead battle is going to take our interest for the moment because it is so close.
Yep, we got pretty much Marco versus Logan, Jacob versus Clark, and we got the lead battle of Alex versus Kevin. We are going to try our best to keep an eye on them all, but it's very difficult. But the leading battle is just important. Like Jamie was saying earlier, you've got to be within 4 or 5 attempts to have any shot in turn 3 and any shot to try and go for the move. It's around about 2 attempts, so he's going to get a good exit. What's he going to do here? He's going to try and go for the move in towards... nope, he shuts the door, Alex. And Kevin's got a very good exit, actually. What's the gap now? It's about 2 attempts, so he can do it. But he hardly got any battery, so I don't think he's going to go for the move here. No. You never know. Oh, can he do it here? Can he go for the send? No, he doesn't. He plays very smart. And if I was him, save the battery. That's what's going to help you do it. See what your rival is doing. It's Marco and Epic the Animal going at it. Clark and Jaco going at it. Oh, this is bonkers. This is great stuff.
Yeah, we've got 3 about 3rd place here. What's even the keep with Tesco penalty? We've got Callum was about 2, almost 3 seconds of Logan and Marco fighting over fifth place, which could be third, could be fourth, could be fifth. Obviously, it all depends how the timing works out at the end there. As Alex now, he's started to deploy a bit his battery now, a bit more down the straight. I noticed that last lap there, down up on the approach to turn 3, he did deploy battery, so he's now got a battery where he can just use on every straight now, and that is just going to make Kevin's job even harder. So I think Kevin now's got to rely on Alex making a mistake or getting a penalty, I think, to win now, because it looks like Alex has got this under control. He's starting to pull away now, and Kevin's had he's had a good go at it. Kevin, you can't complain for his, you can't have a go at his determination for
He's
it.
saving
I think
battery.
Alex has got this covered. Yeah.
He was saving a bit of battery there. I wonder if he was using none, which was why he was about 9/10 slower than Alex there, potentially. He's probably listening to us in the commentary box. Yeah, he's probably saving a bit there as well. He's thinking smart on what he's got to do, but I wonder if it's too little too late, because, again, with that tyre offset, I think Alex is a little bit better in terms of tyres, and if he can keep this up, maybe Alex could break free of Kevin's DRS, and Alex is 2 tenths quicker than Kevin on that last lap. So if Alex could gain 2 tenths a lap on Kevin, then that'll be race over for Kevin, and Alex could win his second one hub race. But Kevin wants to win his first one hub race, like we saw in the P3 tier this afternoon, with Deggio winning his first race on his debut season. As someone's getting past the lap car, that's Morgan. Morgan's going to pick for the fastest lap.
But because he's been lapped, that means he won't be able to. Oh, he probably will be able to do it.
No. He's on lap 30. He's on lap 34. The lead's on lap 35. You're good.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, I was a bit worried there. he pitted lap too late there.
He knows the rules.
He
knows the rules. He is good.
That's good. I got a bit confused there by a lap count, so yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. So yeah, as it stands, Morgan will try and get the fast lap, and if he can close in on these guys, he can try and get DRS, which means that would help him get the fastest lap point. Don't forget, in one hub racing, there's the fastest lap inside the top 10 and fastest lap outside the top 10. And Axelot's trying to do the same thing. I love this fastest lap roll. We don't have it on the F1 real life anymore, but we have it on this game. We don't have it on this game, but we have it on that one hub racing, mainly because to encourage people to not give up and to try and go for points if you're not in a good position to do so, or have the gap, as J. Cole's picked up a penalty. Final lap of this race, and it is Alex versus Kevin for the win. Can Kevin pick his maiden win in one hub, or can Alex pick his second race win in his one hub racing career after Qatar, of course? Kevin, though, does not have enough battery to try and defend from Alex. I think Alex has got this one covered. He has his 4 tenths back, but I don't think it's going to be enough yellow flag. That is, I think, Casper, I think, who's had a bit of a moment. Oh, no. Cam and Marco's also been... Actually, no, it's not. Never mind. It was Casper that's had a bit of a moment. Clark has got past J. Cole. I think Alex has done enough here. Alex was... I'm actually glad if I get this prediction right. So, Alex, don't bin it, because that's who I predicted in the pre-race show on who I think is going to win this race. He's doing well on fuel at the moment. He used a lot of that exit curve. As long as he doesn't slide and have a moment, he's on the course to win this race. Alex, for the second time in his one hub racing career, he wins in one hub. He wins in Austria. Kevin, again, once the bridesmaid, never the bride. He gets second. And Lakito drops down to, well,
sixth,
4. He's going to be 6, but we'll see if he can get his 3-second time penalty removed if he get a double warning. As Morgan's out of the race. Did he bin it across? That was.
He retired in the pits because he had a spin. He had a spin in mid part lap, and he retired in the pits. Marco, I was watching a battle. there between Marco and Morgan in there. Morgan almost got it. Marco and Logan. Logan was fighting on Morgan in turn 3. He got the move done, but then Marco got it back, and Marco managed to hang on, and he got 3rd place. And Callum's managed to slot somehow in between these two guys. I think they're 4 tenths each other. Look at that for the podium. Callum missed out by 2 tenths. That has cost him.
Axelot's still going for the fastest lap.
Finished.
Axelot's still going for the fastest lap, so we'll see what we could do. Is it going to be enough to claim a point for Axelot? We will find out. Yes! Axelot gets a fastest lap outside the top 10 with a 1:05.0, which is absolutely astonishing. Fastest lap inside the top 10 belongs to... Let me have a look. Oh, come on. Fast up inside the top 10.
Alex.
Alex. So Alex gets it inside the top 10. Outside the top 10. Oh my goodness, it's going to be hard to find out who's going to be Sim Racing Setups driver of the day. But what another good race. We're going to be even an absolute treat. And we got another different race winner. But Alex picks race win number 2.
Yeah, congratulations to him. Obviously, this is the second race he's won on track, but this time he gets to keep it, and I think that will put him into it. That'll close the gap a bit. I think Kevin will retain the championship lead, but Alex will be a bit closer. And these front three are now starting to really pull the gap a little bit here. As Nikita's just dropped back a little bit there, but now there's the front two were in a class they're on today, you have to say.
Yeah, it was nice to watch the battle as well, so fair play. I can't wait to see how they do in Australia in about a week's time, which will be a week before the real-life race. So, let's run through your order then. So, Alex wins from Kevin in second, and we got Marco that completes the podium, Cam Alarmed in fourth, Epic the Animal in fifth. I am still, I don't know who's going to get my driver of the day vote, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Then we got Lakitu, Clark, J. Cole, Senna, Merger top 10, Colin and Curry, your final points finishers along with Atzlock, Chris and Casper and Morgan do not score there. And if Morgan, hopefully Morgan will get classified, because if he does not, then that will class as a two-time DNF in terms of engine wear and car wear, so that won't be good for him. But now it's time to pick our sim racing setup driver of the day. And again, Jamie, I'll let you go first.
Yeah, he should classify you. You're only up down. And shout out to Curry getting the point as well. Good to see him. Curry only getting the point. But my nomination for driver of the day, I'm going to go with Logan Animo in 5th place. Obviously, he was about half a second off the podium. Obviously, this week he had a bit more chance to practice. I'm going to ask him, well done, mate, good top 5, so close to the podium. Did you find it a lot easier this week? Now he had more than like 4 hours notice to race. Did you think that podium's on? You had a nice battle there with Callum, but are you frustrated to be so close to the podium and only finish 5th?
Good question. I was going to go with him if you didn't go for him, so that makes my choice quite easier for who I'm going to go for. It's got to be the race winner. I know it's a boring choice, but Alex missed out on the win last week due to a penalty, and he knew today that as long as he keeps it clean with no penalties, he could win this one. So, yeah, that's who my sim racing setups driver of the day is going to be. And my question is, a 3-second penalty cost you the win last week. How hard was it to keep under track limits and also to keep Kevin behind you over the last few laps? And massive congratulations on your second race win in One Hub Racing. And that does it then for One Hub. But before we go, let's run through the next race on the calendar, which is on the 1st of March, Pinch Punch first day of the month, around Australia. Of course, the opening round of the Real Life Championship. And as we've seen in the pre-race interviews, Jamie, quite a lot of people love this track.
Yeah, and obviously it's changed since 2022. It came back, obviously, after a few years off, and it came back 2022. It's a completely different track now. Now it's very much a power track, and it's a track where you have really good aerodynamic efficiency, and it's going to be a race where it's going to be dominated by DRS. So a bit like this track really as well. So going vital for the pack, but it's a track where it does offer good racing in the game. I think because they got rid of the Mickey Mouse corners on that track now, I think it does offer up some really good race opportunities. And they've widened some of the corners, so it makes overtaking a little bit easier. But it's not a done deal. And obviously, I do like Australia as a track because it is quite a fun track to drive. You do get quite close to walls at some areas though, so it's
penalties.
So easy to oversteer a little bit and hit the wall and damage your wing. Yeah, so we will be seeing. It is technically a street track, but it's also not a street track. So yeah. It's the first time this season we'll see drivers getting really close to walls, especially in that middle sector, so I can't wait for it.
I can't wait for it in the commentary box. I'm sure you will do as well. Make sure you join us at 7:30 p.m. for the P1 tier to take the track. But before we go, let's go through our sponsors. First of all, Delta.app, the title sponsor for the league, and it's for over 18s. And you'll be able to make all your smart investment decisions in one app and track your journey to success with Delta. If you use the command !Delta in the Twitch chat or click the link in the YouTube description, you'll be able to use it to track your investments. Of course, we've got Next Level Racing that are providing prizes every season, so thank you very much to them. Sim Racing Setups, of course, they provide dry, intermediate and wet setups, and also safe and esports setups, and also strategies and an ERS map for qualifying. And they also sponsor the league for providing a driver of the day voucher to the winner of each tier each week. So they get £10, and also a winner of the driver of the season gets £100. And of course, it will either go to Alex or Logan in the P1 tier. So we'll see who wins it out of that one. And if you use the code OneHub Racing, you can get 5% off. So if you want to race Australia next week and get a nice setup, you can do so. Pure Sim Gear, you can get 10% off by using the code on your screen, and also the driver with the most combined poles and fastest lap will get the Speedster Award and get a pair of sim racing gloves or socks. Our partners Vespertine support our championship prizes and merch, as well as help with our payment system this season. And finally, SimGrid. Without SimGrid, there'll be loads of forms to fill in, loads of sheets, and the cam will go absolutely mad. So thank you very much to SimGrid and also the Mental Health Foundation, which is our official charity. Jamie, any final thoughts before we wrap up for the last tier of the evening?
Yeah, good race. I enjoyed it. Good competitive racing. Obviously, quite a clean race. There's a few bumps and bruises, but yeah, as you can see, P1 tier, very good race. Obviously, I think the other drivers will. They've got a point to prove in Australia, because them top two really just did go away there. So there's a bit of work to do for like Marco and Lakita to try and get back on the pace here. But yeah, the first two races have been great. Good racing. Obviously, we see a lot of overtaking tonight, and a lot of guys battle each other. Race long battles between the likes of like Alex and Kevin, likes of Mert and Senna, likes of J. Colin Clark, and
lots of rivalries.
Logan and Callum and Lakita just racing against himself. So it's great to see, and yeah, and can't wait for it next week, and should be good. And hopefully you get a few more back next week, and yeah, we'll go again in 7 days' time.
Yes, I think Waitsy's going to be sport for choice in terms of who he's going to pick for rivals. It reads next week in P1. But the next stream will be, of course, on Thursday evening with the Realistic Championship, commentated by Mr. Evil Dragon. Most likely F1 Addict will join him as well, which will be great to see. I can't remember what track it is. I will need to check that on the top of my head. But it is going to be round number 4 of the championship. So that's at 7:30 UK time. It is around Monza. It's going to be the Realistic Championship. So looking forward to that. Then we got Inside the Stewards Room, where we run through any shooting incidents, as well as highlight some very good racing that happened tonight in all the tiers, and as well go through what to expect around Australia. Then we got the pre-race talk show at 11 AM on Sunday, and then we got all of our tiers starting from 3 PM with the P4 tier, and with us at the P1 tier at 7:30. So with myself and Jamie, thank you for watching. Have a good evening. I'm going to have a lie down because I've only got 2 hours sleep. Take care, everyone. See you next week.
Good night.